everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we went and looked around the town of Blindlock and took care of a little undead problem they happened to have. Now, it's time to go into Marralis here, the last town in the Vale that's still around. Word is, it's not doing well. Let's see just how badly it is doing. First things first. Sheep. Bah. Sheep are simple creatures, calm and uncomplicated. Thus, your conversation does not reveal anything useful. By any measure, this town's crops are a disaster. They get plenty of sun and water, and yet they are dying. They turn brown at the base, and the sickness crawls up. The dead plant matter then rots, coating the ground with a thick, viscous mass. You can't blame people for abandoning the Vale if this is all that their life's work amounts to. This man is prowling around his crops like a wolf, watching for the slightest sign of rot or disease. When he sees it, he stoops swiftly down to painstakingly cut the afflicted plant away. He seems loath to turn away from his work to speak with you. I'm Kevin. While he says it, he watches his plants, not you. May we speak with you about Marralis? If you must. I'm a farmer here. Tough work here in the Vale. How are you managing? You can grow things here, you just have to work hard and kill the afflicted plants the moment they're touched. There's only one lucky bugger who's managed to escape it. Who's been so lucky? Yeah, his name's Pangle. He lives in the hut to the southwest. Maybe he can help us. If you talk to him, maybe he'd know something. Of course, he is pretty mean. Do you think Pangle will help us? Yeah, he's an old miser of a guy, but he kinda likes me. Mention my name to him. If he knows I sent you, he might help you. The Vale seems like a poor place to farm these days. Yeah, Skylark Vale, a farmer's paradise. Kevin continues to purge the crops of sickness and rot, continuing his futile fight against the curse that is consuming them. You think you'll get a healthy crop that way? Maybe. Don't know. I have to try. The problem is the ground. The sickness grows out of the dirt. I keep saying the curse comes from under the ground, but nobody listens. Probably shouldn't be walking around here, so... damn it, I did it again. This woman is exhausted, partly from cursed sickness and partly from the exhausting job of trying to keep a few of her crops alive. She's too tired to talk to you. Okay, then. Oh, hello. I don't know if there's even a... Oh no, there's some herbs in here. I guess grab them. Right, clean off the webs, please, thank you. Alright, explore down this way. Some trash over here, nothing of value in it. Almost done looking around over here. Because it's what I do. Oh, that's a kid. This girl should clearly be in bed. She's deathly pale and quite weak. However, the scrapes and dirt on her legs show that she refuses to be cooped up. She slowly walks up to you, bold as can be, and looks over your weapons and armor with great interest. Hi, I'm Ivan. How are you doing? She's slow in responding. You see that she started feeling quite ill. She looks up at you. I'm just trying to be outside. Do you like the outdoors? She wavers slightly. They all say I should be in bed. I don't like being in bed. I want to be out in the air like Daddy and Brother. Why don't I get to play? Who are your father and brother? My brother's Yossi. Daddy is Vandor. They say I can't play. I'm too weak. Perhaps you should be resting. She suddenly becomes upset. I just want to be outside. You want to take me in, don't you? I won't go in. I won't. Tears streaming down her face, she moves away. She's trying to run, but she doesn't have the strength left, so she just stumbles back to where she was resting. Ivan continues to stare at your equipment with great interest. She's very sick, but she refuses to remain still. It's as if she's trying to stay healthy through pure force of will. You like my equipment? She doesn't say anything. She is fascinated by your armor and weapons. She walks up and delicately touches the metal with the tip of her forefinger. Then she pulls her finger back quickly. Wow. You seem very sick. She stares down at the ground. Daddy says you will help, but I don't think he believes it. Oh boy. Well, that's everything outside. Let's look around inside everywhere. This shop is run by a lovely blonde woman. She wears a silver charm with a single shiny black stone set in it. Her longbow is kept close at hand, and she wears a full quiver of arrows. I am Covington the Fletcher. Greetings. What sort of shop is this? I sell missiles of all sorts and all shapes and sizes, all the better for hunting the wide variety of vermin which surrounds us. I take it there's a large demand for your missiles. Between the goblins, the bears, and the bandits, and it's a wonder I can make enough missiles to sustain us. Where are the goblins? The goblins live for the most part to the north. Beware them. They seem weak, but they can easily swarm and overwhelm you. Where are the bears? The bears are to the south. These normally placid creatures have decided in the face of lack of game to hunt two-legged meat, if you catch my meaning. Oh yes, I do. Clearly they are hunting chickens, and we must stop them so that you can keep your chickens. Or did you mean other two-legged meat? Okay then. Where are the bandits? The bandits live for the most part to the east, though I have heard rumors of a hidden lair of them not far to the south. Are you interested in any of my wares? Missiles, bows? The stone in her charm glitters strangely in the light. It's an interesting charm. Is it magical? She gets nervous. Her hand rises to her charm. This? Merely a good luck charm, not enchanted. Let's do some trading. Nothing we need. Nothing we need to sell, either. But thank you. Alright. What have we got in here? Looks like it's just a house for people to stay in. Nobody saw anything. Alright, what's in here? Ah, this must be the mayor. You meet the mayor of Marralis. His nervous manner, facial tics, and constant sheen of nervous sweat all say one thing. Bureaucrat desperately out of his depth. He looks very glad to see you. He's desperate for help. I am pleased, no, more than pleased, in fact, ecstatic to have the honor of welcoming you. I am known as Mayor Broder, Esquire, Honored Empire Liaison to the town of Marralis. So, how fares Marralis? Ah, yes, that is a complicated and multifaceted question, but I shall endeavor to answer. I am the mayor and leader of this town, and the first defense against fear and destruction. And how does the mayor of this town occupy his time? Whether my manifold paths leads me to bookkeeping, filling out forms, answering to my empire superiors, or simply occupying space, I always strive to rise to the necessities of my position. The current necessities are rather pressing, I'm sure. He grimaces. Alas, the painful fact of the curse has made it clear that my skill set for my current position is sadly inadequate. Tell us how the curse has affected Marralis. The curse has, as you can imagine, severely curtailed the standard operating parameters of our village. Empire procedures regarding impending doom are stiffly insufficient. Now, alas, I am forced to turn to adventurers for assistance. Luckily for you, I have been sent by the Empire to help. Yes, the children of my village are ill. Dying, in fact. Our current healing magic is insufficient. However, I have heard rumors of the School of Magery, and suspect there may be magic inside which can help us. Return something to us which can help us, and I will reward you to the extent of my meager abilities. Do you know anything about the School of Magery? I am afraid that the Empire could not do more to discourage finding information on the School of Magery. I know nothing about it, and that is the way my Empire masters wish it. What makes this place so special I know not, but there we are. Has there been much fear and destruction of late? Unfortunately, fear and destruction are much more relevant to our current situation than my previous form filing skills. Alas, the curse has shown all of us to be inadequate, each in our own special way. I take it you wish the Empire is more forthcoming with information. Ah, well, I cannot say that. The Empire is, of course, the savior and protector of us all. Mayor Broder sits at the table and sweats. He's a minor Empire functionary put in charge of an invisibly small farming village. The curse is a problem entirely outside his capabilities. What have you been doing to deal with the curse? What am I to do? Even if my skill set was appropriate to dealing with the particulars of the problem, Marralis has been affected more strongly than anywhere else in Skylark Vale. I must accept some responsibility for my lack of proactivity, but the situation is what it is. I see. You said Marralis has been hit harder by the curse? Yes. It is the water. The river is fouler here. It gets worse the farther west it goes. The bitterness in the water appears in the northeast corner of the vale. Worse the farther west you go. Interesting. Marralis Blades. Your presence is making this guard very uncomfortable. This is the village's communal supply house. While they appreciate your coming to help them, they really don't want you in here. Clearly. Even though that's unidentified, but it looks pretty darn powerful. Skylark Apothecary. Well, we're not getting in there. Physically, this man is as strong a specimen as you've ever met. Inside, however, he's a wreck. He stares at his empty mug despondently, barely even registering your presence. You're the ones who came to help us. You won't. Nobody can. I'm Vandor. What do you want? Can I talk to you? I've heard of you. You're the adventurer. You want to know what my job is? Being worthless, that's what. What have you heard about me? You're here to save us all. That's what they say. Good luck. I might as well be dead for all the good I've done. Why'd you say you're worthless? I might as well be dead for all the good I am. I raised crops and they're rotting away. Yossi and Ivan look to me for help and I can do nothing. Their mother trusted me and now she's gone. Why shouldn't I be dead? What happened to their mother? Most adults have survived the curse so far. One woman didn't. Suddenly he slaps himself across the face as hard as he can. An angry red spot spreads over his cheek. I should have done something. I'd be better off dead. Do you have any ideas what is causing the crops to rot? People say all sorts of things about where the curse comes from, but I'm a farmer and I know. The water, it's bitter. It eats the plants away. Soon nothing's left but rot. How are your children doing? My son's gone blind. My daughter is dying. Soon the curse will leave me with no family left. Why did you say you were worthless? Oh, we already went through that. Poor guy. Oh, we got a level up from picking that lock. Nothing in there, though. You know what, I'm not... coins are coins, I guess. Couple more buildings here. Nobody in here, surprisingly. I expected there would be someone in here. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. One building left. Temple of Divine Justice. The nicest building in Marralis is, as it often is in small villages, a temple. The floor is stone and everything is clean and pleasant. For a moment you can forget about the sickness consuming everything outside. The temple's sole occupant is a woman. She paces anxious orbits around the room. Although she's clearly lost in thought, you finally manage to get her attention. I am Somreth. Welcome to our humble temple, adventurer. I can provide peace and knowledge. What are your responsibilities? I am the leader and teacher of the Temple of Divine Justice. What does that mean? I spread wisdom and strength to all those who come and visit me. To the farmers I give comfort. To those such as yourselves I teach spells if the interest is there. Normally, our temple does not share its rituals with outsiders. However, considering the horrible things that are happening, I feel it is for the greater good. Can you teach me any spells? She can. Healing definitely stronger. Curing definitely stronger. And Summon. Excellent. I think that's all the spells we can actually learn in this game. Does this land have justice?
Alas, there has been all too little justice in the Vale lately. It is the curse. It has been cruel to those trying to eke out a living here.
How have the people fared?
Badly. Alas, with the curse about, it seems that no amount of comfort is ever enough.
I've been sent to investigate the curse. Have you noticed anything interesting I should know?
It is strange. We of the valley have been so occupied with keeping our bodies and spirits alive that we have had little energy left to spare to figure out what causes the curse that destroys us. That is why I am here, pacing and thinking.
Thinking about what?
I think about the source of the curse, which appeared so suddenly and inexplicably. And interestingly, there is one other inexplicable thing in this valley.
What would that be?
The old abandoned school of Magery. It is a huge structure full of power, unenterable and abandoned, and as far as I know there are only two people in the Vale who know of it, Aviso and Axel. I talked to Aviso about it. He told me about some interesting objects, something I would like to have if possible.
Where can I find Aviso and Axel?
Last I heard, both resided in Sweet Grove. If you wish to lift the curse, be sure to speak with them. They may be able to help. Actually, I heard Aviso was fleeing.
So then where can Aviso be?
That means if he's even still in the valley, he'll probably be in Fort Talrus. That's where people stop when on their way to a saner place.
What object are you looking for?
I was told that there were some small black stones found around the school, worn about the size of your fist with runes. I would like to have one if possible. I would pay. I'm curious about what I might be able to do with those artifacts.
Well, I found some of those black stones you described. She takes the stone and inspects it carefully.
Interesting. This is definitely what is described. Thank you.
She gives you a pouch of coins and a potion.
I hope this is fair pay for your troubles. Sadly, the markings on the stone have mostly been worn away. They will be difficult to translate. If you can bring me another stone, I would gladly pay more.
Can you heal me?
Alas, my power is not that great. You should go see Hamer in Sweet Grove. She truly has the gift.
Can she heal people afflicted by the curse?
No, the decay the curse inflicts upon the body is beyond what human magic can repair.
Well, here's another.
She takes the stone and inspects it carefully. Interesting. This is definitely what was described. Thank you.
She gives you a pouch of coins and a potion.
I hope this is fair pay for your troubles. If I can't translate the runes and find some use for the stones of these two specimens, I am probably wasting my time. Thank you for your help.
Excellent. We doubled the money we spent. And that appears to be everything out here. Well then. And we still have plenty of time to explore and do other things. So I guess we can. There's this area over here where it says there's supposed to be some people. It's also down here. You note a dramatic increase in the number of broken and gnawed bones on either side of the trail. This is rarely good news. Alright, let's take a look at what's up here. You're trying to advance up the valley carefully in order to not give advance warning to any evil creatures residing here. The filthy water starts to bubble all around you as the creatures lurking underneath emerge. The vibrations of your footsteps alerted them. Groups of reptilian heads start to emerge from the muck. You run, but not fast enough. The hydras are almost immediately upon you. Hydras! Yay! That's unpleasant. Oh, crap. And we're not even getting a chance to hit them. Yeah, definitely reloading here. Okay, I'm curious if we actually will be able to get through this. Let's try again, see if we actually can. Okay, that time we can actually hit them. God damn it. Almost killed him, but... And complete failure. Reloading again. Yes, I know, it's constantly loading because one person died, and that's not what should happen, I think. But still, it's basically the fact that we lose all of our gear and cannot get any of it back. There we go. There's the more dangerous one dead. God damn it, again. Ugh. Reload again. Give this one more try and see if it works. If not, I'm going to stop. You know what? Forget him. Alright. Ignoring that, then. Actually, now that I think about it, didn't we get a few level ups? I think we did. We did! Alright. Let's put some points in melee weapons. Actually, a couple points in those. And a point in endurance. Chic. 14 points in tool use. That's pretty darn good. Bonnie. Another point in pre-spells, sure. Point in intelligence, sure. And Draco. Point in that. Point in that. And point in arcane lore, sure. I think that works. And you know what, let's just... Actually, I just remembered. There was something over here, even though it's going to be getting poisoned. This is going to be fun. Alright, let's explore here, see what's here. This foul, stagnant fen has attracted several hard plant monsters. They regard you as a fortunate source of tasty meat and rush you, tendrils wiggling. How disgusting. 4 mobile fungus. Well, at least they're easier to kill than the Hydra. There we go. Searching their lair, you find that these creatures have had some success in waylaying travelers. Most of the victims' goods have rotted or rusted away. However, one ring managed to survive. A shield ring! That's actually handy. You can use that. Exploring the small island, you notice a small stone circle on a promontory. It looks old and harmless, so you investigate. Stepping inside, you find a small, polished altar. Although the stone pillars are clearly ancient and crumbled, the altar looks brand new. There's a kneeling stone in front of it. One of you can pray if you wish. Sure, Fox, pray. As you kneel, a serene feeling sweeps over you. As you stare into the polished stone of the altar, your mind is filled with an incredible sense of clarity. Distractions are lost, and your thoughts float freely. The feeling soon fades, but that brief moment of pure mental clarity made you realize many useful things. You feel more experienced. You walk away from the altar and leave the circle. After a few minutes, you look back and see that it's disappeared. Very mysterious. Alright, free experience. Probably should have given that to Draco, in all honesty, considering he is, he gets experience much more slowly than everyone else. Valgarak Marsh. Your long march through the marsh has been rewarded. Mixed in among the reeds and cattails, you find several sprigs of fresh alchemical herbs, ready for picking. Take it. Alright then, got some herbs. Yay. Actually give those herbs to Bonnie. Now that I think about it, give the Veil map to Sheik. Alright. You still got like 5 minutes to just wander around a bit. There are still plenty of places to look around and explore. But I don't want to start something with only 5 minutes left. Interesting, that still goes to something. You enter a small green glade only reachable from inside the Veil. You immediately notice a huge difference between this valley and the Veil. So far, the curse seems to have passed this area over. You see a small lake surrounded by happy animals and healthy plants. The air is clean and fresh with no constant scent of decay. Makes for a nice and mysterious change. Ah, and this goes down here. Now that the curse has decimated the Vale's animal population, the creatures higher up on the food chain seem to have decided to hunt other prey. You encounter a group of bears. Hunger has made them desperate, and desperation has made them hunt something they normally wouldn't. You. Oh goody, a trio of bears. Tough, but we can kill them. Ow. And easily slain. That connects back to there, where there was a tunnel. Here's this green veil. This land belongs to Pangle. Keep away. You arrive at a true rarity in Skylark Vale, a working farm. The plants are not afflicted by rot, the animals are not dying, the water in the small lake fails to assail your noses with acrid fumes. It's a nice change of pace. And this area is tiny. With a small hut, too. Hey, another level up for someone. For Sheik. Like most farms, this one has a storage shed. However, the shed seems to be full of trash and old forgotten stuff instead of the expected tools and seed. Many of the items are old and covered with dirt, as if they were dug up or scavenged. Some of it looks like research equipment. It would take weeks to sort through this garbage. Yeah, I doubt there's anything really useful in here. This box is filled with broken tools, old scraps of cloth and fur, and mixed junk. A quick search reveals nothing of value. You close it. Same thing there. Alright. Rover. Pangle's dog runs up to you and frolics around your feet. To your great surprise, it says bark. It doesn't bark, it actually says the word bark. It notices your confusion and pants. I'm Rover, for what it's worth. Woof. Hello. Hello. The sheep in the nearby enclosure gets a little too close to the fence. Rover barks at it. Woof. Sorry, I keep that worthless ball of wool in line. Who's this ball of wool? Wonderful wise master calls it grazer. I call it dummy. Why is it called grazer? I'm supposed to keep it quiet and in line so master can cut its fur off. Woof. When master is not around though, it bugs me all the time. Bark. Do me a favor? Maybe. Depends on the favor. It sniffs you briefly and thinks. Go call it dummy for me. If I do it, master will hit me. You can do it just fine. Rover stares up at you, friendly in a specially bred canine way. You can talk. Yes. How about that? Okay. You see a sheep. It's been recently shorn, and it looks unhappy about it. It looks dolefully up at you. It bleats. Then, oddly enough, it starts to talk. Keeping busy? I grow nice fur to keep me warm and happy, and then that foul hound chases me and master cuts it all off. It's a crime, I tell you. I suppose it must seem like a crime to you. Master takes my fur. Later he'll probably take my meat. This is no kind of life, I can tell you. What kind of life would you like? Grazing on a mountainside, covered in a nice thick layer of my own fur. That would be great. I'm Grazer. I'm happy. What does ba mean? It sniffs. Nothing, but you have the inflection all wrong. Try this. Ba. See? Put your heart into it. Dummy? It rears back in sheeply offense. You've been talking to the dog, haven't you? Well, you tell him he's smelly, see how he likes that. Grazer says you smell. He growls. That worthless hunk of mutton. Woof! Tell him that. He's mutton. See what he says about that. Mutton. The sheep looks more offended than you'd previously thought possible. That is a cruel thing to call a sheep. Well, let me tell you this. Rover hides all his bones and such under a rock in the trees. That will show him. The sheep turns away angrily. You look under the rock and find a collection of dry, heavily chewed bones. On closer inspection, however, you notice that one of the bones is actually a scroll tube. Take it. Well then. That silliness actually had a result. Home of Pangle, keep away. There is no help for you here. Anything in here? Hey, another level up was in here. And gold coins, iron greatsword, and leather bracer. Handy. Nothing else there. You meet the owner of this farm. He doesn't seem happy that you have invaded his home, but he isn't reaching for a weapon. He watches you stoically, clearly unwilling to speak. You ask his name. He grants you one word. Pangle! Why do you live by yourself out here? He stares at you quietly. Trying to learn anything I can about the School of Magery. You have done a little bit to gain his interest. That's good, I guess, but I don't know anything about that. Are you sure? You don't know anything? I've scavenged there a bit once, but I hardly found anything. Now leave me be. Well, I have explored there, and I found it still occupied by monsters. For some reason, that interests him. Really? Never found anything like that when I scavenged there. I don't know, I might know something. I'd like to get rid of the curse. Pangle watches you grimly. He would ask you to leave, but he doesn't want to dignify you with the words. You don't like to get visitors? I was afraid you were one of the people from the Vale bugging me and looking for charity. Do you often get beggars? You tell them that I hardly have enough to feed myself. I have enough problems. I can't spend my time helping them. What problems could you have? Well, first, there's my arguing livestock. Then there's running this farm by myself. And I'm a poor man on top of it. I certainly have nothing of interest for adventurers such as yourselves. Your animals argue with you. Yeah, let's just say this. Don't talk to my dog or my sheep unless you want to get your ear talked off. They've been arguing at each other for weeks. I can't get a moment's peace. Your farm seems to be prospering anyway. Just because the curse doesn't affect me doesn't mean my farm runs itself. It's a lot of work for an old man. Pangle watches you grimly. He won't ask you to leave, but okay. Do you know anything about the curse in the Vale? He anticipates your question. No, the curse doesn't affect me. I don't know why it isn't affecting me, it just doesn't, alright? What about the School of Magery? Do you know anything about that? Well, actually, I do have something that might interest you, for what it's worth. When I was younger, I was up hiking to the northeast, and I found a scroll tube. It had these papers in it about the School of Magery. Do you know what the papers are about? I don't know nothing about that. All I have is these old papers I found. If you want them, you can buy them. I'll give them to you. Just give me 500 gold, and the papers are yours. We were sent by the Empire to stop this curse, and those papers might be vital. I'm not going to pay for them. Then you won't have them. Wait, how about this? I've been having trouble with Hydras. They came here when the curse started. They've been eating my animals. They're hiding in a marsh to the north. If they were dead, it would be worth the money to me. And that's all the help I can give you. Leave me be. So, we will need to deal with those. Okay, that's fine. We can do that in the next episode, because this one has gone on long enough. So, next episode, we'll deal with these Hydras. Hopefully that'll be enough for Pangle, and we can get these papers that are probably very important and useful. And we'll probably also explore that other cave and deal with those goblins to the north and that hidden area just south of town. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.